If the emperor represents external authority, law, and social structure. The next stage of the symbolic journey introduces spiritual order and shared meaning. The Hierophant in tarot symbolizes tradition, spiritual teaching, religious authority, and the transmission of sacred knowledge across generations. Where the emperor governs society, the Hierophant governs worldview. Where the emperor creates rules, the Hierophant creates meaning. The Hierophant represents shared belief systems, religion, ritual, morality, cultural tradition, and spiritual wisdom that unite individuals within a collective understanding of reality. If the emperor builds civilization through structure, the Hierophant provides its spiritual foundation. He represents continuity, inherited knowledge, and the preservation of meaning. From the perspective of Jungian psychology, the Hierophant corresponds to the archetype of the wise old man, the teacher, guide, and keeper of ancient wisdom. This archetype represents moral guidance, ethical principles, and the human need for orientation within a larger system of meaning. Psychologically, the Hierophant symbolizes internalized values, education, and the transition from personal experience to collective knowledge. However, this archetype also contains a shadow side. Tradition can provide wisdom, but it can also create rigid belief and blind conformity. Religious authority can guide individuals toward meaning, but it can also restrict independent thinking. The Hierophant represents both preserved wisdom and the danger of dogma. This symbolic figure appears across cultures, religions, and mythological systems. In ancient Greek tradition, the Hierophant resembles the priests of the Eleusinian mysteries, sacred initiators who revealed hidden truths about life, death, and rebirth. The word Hierophant itself means one who reveals the sacred. These figures guided individuals through spiritual transformation and transmitted sacred knowledge through ritual and initiation. In ancient Egyptian culture, the Hierophant resembles temple priests who preserved cosmic order through ceremony and tradition. Egyptian priesthood served as mediators between divine and human realms, maintaining harmony through ritual practice. Here, sacred knowledge was preserved through lineage and transmission. In Jewish tradition, the Hierophant corresponds to the high priest and the preservation of revealed law. Spiritual knowledge is transmitted through scripture, interpretation, and continuous teaching. The emphasis is on covenant, the structured relationship between humanity and the divine. In Christianity, the Hierophant reflects the institutional church and the role of spiritual authority. He symbolizes doctrine, ritual practice, and the continuity of belief across generations. Religious teaching becomes organized into structured systems that guide communities and shape moral values. In Buddhism, the Hierophant finds a parallel in the Sangha, the spiritual community that preserves and transmits the teachings of the Buddha. The role of the teacher is central, and wisdom is passed down through discipline and practice. Here, knowledge is not invented, but inherited. In Islamic tradition, the Hierophant resembles scholars who interpret sacred texts and preserve religious law. Spiritual understanding emerges through study, tradition, and disciplined transmission of knowledge. Religious authority is connected with responsibility and continuity. Norse mythology also reflects this archetype. The Hierophant resembles the skalds, storytellers and keepers of mythic tradition who preserved cultural memory through poetry and narrative. He also parallels Odin in his role as transmitter of runic wisdom, passing knowledge to humanity. Here, tradition functions as sacred memory. From the perspective of Joseph Campbell's monomyth, the Hierophant represents the stage where the hero encounters established tradition or receives instruction from a teacher. He represents inherited wisdom rather than personal discovery. The hero learns the cultural and spiritual framework that shapes understanding. The visual symbolism of the Hierophant card reinforces these meanings. He sits on a throne between pillars, representing institutional authority and stability. Two followers kneel before him, symbolizing the transmission of knowledge from teacher to student. The crossed keys at his feet represent access to hidden truth and spiritual authority. His formal robes express ritual continuity and structured tradition. Unlike the emperor's political power, the Hierophant's authority is symbolic and spiritual. His power lies in meaning rather than force. The Hierophant represents a fundamental stage in human development, the creation of shared systems of belief that help individuals understand existence. Human beings seek structure not only in society, but also in meaning.